Welcome to the Chanel Cinco, where we practice free speech up in this piece. I don't know none of these people, so we just here to talk, discuss. So don't get in your feelings. Let's vibe, chill, and comment down below so we can interact. Because I want to know what you think about these topics. We're going to have to get into the topic in hand because I know that's what you came for. Yeah. Y'all, what's up? So apparently, Nique and Dewayne may have broken up. Like I said before, I'm not surprised. I actually did a video a while back about the fact that they probably would go a couple years. But it's kind of confusing, I'm not going to lie, because a lot of people were saying that they were engaged. Some people saying they're not broken up. And then they're like unfollowed each other, take pictures down. So it's kind of complicated. You don't really know, excuse me, what's going on. You kind of have to speculate. And I guess that's expected. I mean, it's their business, whatever. But like I said before, I feel like Nique is more invested than Dewayne. I feel like Dewayne is more of a convenience thing for him. It suits his needs right now. And even when two people do break up, it's kind of complicated when y'all live together. And especially if he doesn't want to leave, technically, you know, that could be a battle. You know, he kind of doesn't really have to if his name is on the lease, but his name is not on the lease, then it's something, you know, different. So it's just like, just because if somebody's staying with you, I know it's a grace period where it's kind of like you can't make them leave. But even with that, like if y'all supposed to be living together, it's just a tricky situation. So even if you do see him at the house, it doesn't necessarily mean that they together. But however, you know, when you live with somebody, of course you're going to fall back into old patterns and ways of thinking and wondering, okay, what if, what could happen, and so forth and so on. So that's just another dynamic. But in reality, you don't know if it's officially over. But even with this situation, I can kind of see it going back and forth for a minute. So I really can't say, but I really feel like eventually it will fizzle out. It do give me some vibes like, you know, they do have good times together, but just like every other relationship, you know, they have their ups and downs. And I don't know if y'all saw that video. It was Kaiser's birthday, and people like that Dewayne was there, but he looked like he was packing. But at the same time, it's like if you have a birthday baby there, you would want to be helping him or in the video with him. First off, like maybe he's filming for them, but I don't think I saw him filming, but you know, or filming for her or Kaiser. It just seemed like he wasn't around or that interested. And if you don't know, in the past, Kaiser and Dewayne Bacon allegedly haven't been on the best of terms. And for one, I'm Team Kaiser all the way, all day. For sure, Kaiser, I got your back. For real, for real. No, but it's just like, in this situation, I'm like, okay, Kaiser wins, you know? Because to be honest, I was like, okay, it was a situation where Kaiser was just like wanting his dad. But then I'm like, nah, that's not the case, because Lena and him are cool. And I was actually surprised about that. I wasn't expecting them to be so cool. But I guess King would definitely make sure that happened. But if you don't know, there was a video in the past where Kaiser was out with the family, mom, Dukes or whatever, and they, Nique, I think, was on the phone with, no, Nique was there, I think. Okay, so Dewayne was on the FaceTime, and they was like, Dewayne said hi, and something like that, and then Kaiser was like, I don't like, something like, say hi to Dewayne, I don't like Mr. Bacon, something like that. So that kind of went viral, and everybody talked about that for a minute. But kids will be kids, and just because, you know, you're a good person doesn't mean they're going to like you either. So it doesn't necessarily mean it has anything to do with him, because he does have his own little ones. And, but what I'm saying is something happened where Kaiser just wasn't feeling Dewayne at that time. So I kind of let it go, but I was also like, oh man, poor Kaiser's going to have to see this man that he doesn't like all the time. And that's so unfortunate. And I was always so wondering, what didn't he like? Was it because maybe, you know, Dewayne was one way in front of Nique, a different way in front of Kaiser? You just never know. I don't know what the situation is. I'm just saying, you know. But I thought to move on past it because her and Dewayne had moved in together. And so it would seem like it was getting serious. And you also hear talks of rumors. But I don't know what video it was on, but I almost left. Like, it really took me out because it was so funny. And I really started to look for it, but I was like, nah, it's kind of messy anyway. But Kaiser, Dewayne's kids were in the car with Nique and Dewayne. They were heading somewhere. And Nique is like, you know, Kaiser, it's time to say hi to everybody. Let's say hi, or something to that effect. I need to get the actual footage, but Kaiser was already looking at Dewayne like he was mad. I don't know what was going on. I feel like Nique was trying to get his attention. That's why she was like, you know, Kaiser, say hi, because he was like jumping at Dewayne like for his attention, like, look at me. And so Nique puts the camera on Kaiser, and Dewayne turns around because Kaiser grabs Dewayne's shirt and pulls it to him. You know, like, you know how you about to fight somebody? And he put his hand up in Dewayne's face and threw him the finger and was like, hey, how you doing? Something to that effect. But he was like trying to say hey to the people when his mom told him to, but he was letting the people know, like, he don't steal food with Dewayne, apparently. So Dewayne kind of, you know, was cool about it. I was embarrassed for him, and he kind of laughed it off. And I was like, oh, so they haven't mended their relationship yet. But then later on in different videos, you see them kind of hanging out, and it's a little better. But it's just a very unfortunate situation, especially when you have this possible stepdad situation and a boy. A lot of stepdads, you know, and them boys sometimes, you know, can be tricky, especially if they're not getting along, especially as a baby. I wouldn't even imagine what it would be later on. So I'm Team Kaiser, and so far he's winning, but it's still no guarantee. It's definitely a possibility that Nique and Dewayne can definitely be going back and forth, and also rekindle whatever they have going on, because when you single, you free to mingle and do with whatever you want to deal with and do what you want to do, especially if it comes to your ex and y'all both single. Sometimes people do find their way back to that. But I don't know. It was some things that I did see go on in some videos, and it kind of point light that it could have been some toxicity in the relationship, and it's kind of like maybe Nique doesn't need to be in a relationship, because I didn't think she needed to be in the first place, because like I said, it was just a vibe that was off, but I'm not in a relationship, so I really can't say. But when I saw the toxicity pattern that I didn't even know, it kind of made me feel like, okay, that's why Kaiser don't really like Dewayne, and maybe, you know, Nique needs to leave it alone. And I'm not going to speak on what it was, but if you know, you probably seen it too. But I'm just going to let it slide. And if she is done with Dewayne, good for her, because I know she really, really likes him a lot. And any breakup is sad. And I know she'll be fine either way. And yeah, leave that alone. Because you know how the boys are, very protective of their moms. And I just feel like that's what Kaiser is trying to do. And I'm sure he sees things that, you know, he just doesn't like. And that's understandable. Okay. But speaking back on the Dewayne and Nique situation, it seemed like Nique is getting karma for the situation with King because the bacon is obviously not a pushover. So it's kind of like karma almost. It's weird if I really can't explain it. That's what it seemed like was happening. So I know one thing, you don't want to be in a relationship where you're getting karma, that's for sure. And it kind of almost seems like King, in my opinion, just my opinion, is getting karma from how he treated Nique with Lena. Now, that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. I don't know. But so far, they're still together. So far, they seem to be doing okay. Hopefully, that's still the case. I'm just speaking on just the dynamic of what I had seen and what I feel. I definitely want to know what your comment and opinions on the Dewayne Bacon and the Nique situation. I did notice that Fredo Bang had reached out to Nique on a live, and it seemed like, she was back with Dewayne. And it seems as if she don't want to go back that road. It seems like she's trying to avoid him in that situation, which is unfortunate because I really prefer him over Dewayne. It's because I really feel like Dewayne, just to be honest, I just feel like he gonna make Nique work. But I feel like, if that makes sense, I feel like Fredo will put in the work for Nique. And that's what you want when it comes to a man. You don't want a man who's gonna make you go through hoops because he really not gonna respect you. He gonna respect you, but he really not gonna respect you. But I feel like Fredo was genuine. I don't feel Dewayne is genuine. And that's just my opinion. But they in a relationship, that's their business. They can do what they want to do, of course. And everything I say is alleged because I'm not in their relationship. But I wish both of them love with their person, both of them success with their person. It's a lot that I don't want to get into, but yeah, relationships come and go, and it's just all about making it work and going from there. All right, so let's get on to the next topic, but definitely leave your comments down below on the previous topic. And if you made it this far, hit that thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. You're such a vibe. Thank you so much. So we're about to get into Brooklyn, Cinco situation, because apparently they're cool. I'm not saying they're in a relationship, but apparently they're cool. There are some signs that let me know that they may not be in a relationship, but at the same time, if you're going to be an ex with anybody, I would definitely say it should not be Cinco. But I know that Brooklyn doesn't really have many exes, so, it is what it is. Because Cinco really wants something with Brooklyn. But Brooklyn, I think, is just still figuring everything out. But I can't really say that either because she had her, I think, their promise ring on or engagement ring on. Because when you see a promise ring, it's normally one ring. But the ring that's been on her finger from time to time is like an engagement ring. It's like the band and the ring. So for all we know, they could honestly be married and not let nobody know. Honestly. Because even when you're engaged, you usually wear one ring. And he did propose to her a long time ago. And like I said before, some cultures do believe in early marriages, especially when they're not from here. And if Brooklyn's background is Filipino. And her mom did marry and move out at 17. And if you do remember, Brooklyn did move out at 17. But she kind of came back for a minute, but still, now she has her own place, and Cinco is there. So like I said, for all we know, they could be married. And I feel at this point, and that's what I was kind of wondering, but I go back and forth, and I'll go into why that is in a minute. But as far as Brooklyn and Cinco, honestly, we don't care. If y'all want to be together, be together. I laughed a couple times that's what I do. I laugh at everything. I laugh at myself. So you can't really take what I laugh at personally or seriously. Stuff be funny. Stuff be mad funny to me because I'm a creative kind of person. So I create funny stuff in my head. I'm going to laugh regardless of if what it was said was funny. So I apologize if my laughing makes you feel any way, because at the end of the day, do you. But at the same time, if y'all not in a relationship, married, or together, then I would say just stop being around each other, because y'all gonna keep coming back. But at the same time, because Jay Cinco's one of them possessive friends, even if he's saying he a friend, but he find out you talking to somebody else, that dude gone. He finito. And you're gonna be like, what happened? Or he stopped talking to me. Jay Cinco, I'm gonna admit, the dude know how to scramble, he know how to gamble, he know how to make stuff happen. He know how to make it and shake, because guess what? Guess where he came to? Like, he done met Deshae, he done met DDG, he done met Brooklyn. I mean, he knows how to do what he do. And the man, I commend him because he do got talent. But at the same time, from where he came from, he ain't got no choice but to, do that. So you ain't gonna leave Jay Cinco alone if you with him. That's just not gonna happen with him. And that's apparent. So obviously you either with him, or you gonna be with him, or y'all possibly married at this point. Who knows? But I will say this, they do have ups and downs, just like any relationship. But at the end of the day, they're both beautiful people, so why not get to know each other? My biggest issue back then was the age, but at this point, I don't even care. But I do feel like there will be a lesson learned in this, because I seen a couple red flags, but that's your life. And I'm here to watch the train wreck or the sunrise, whichever one comes first or last or whatever. We gonna be excited to see it. Nobody cares if y'all live in the same house again. Like, you're grown. Save on some bills. You live in Cali. Like, nobody cares. And if anything, I would say Jay Cinco he really does want to be with you. So if you're gonna room with somebody, if you're going to date somebody, definitely date somebody who is putting you in their life. So yeah. So I wouldn't care. As far as toxicity, most relationships are gonna have it unless it's your forever person. A lot of people don't meet their forever person. So be with the person that gets you. But anyway, we don't care, do y'all? Like, if y'all do videos together, we don't care. We just gonna talk about it, report on it, which I'm done talking about it, to be honest. But I'm just saying, like, we don't care. Well, I'm sure there's people who do. But it's your life, if that makes sense. And you're gonna do what you want to do anyway, and we do know that. Ain't no sense to play like y'all in two different houses, two different spaces, and y'all not. If y'all live together, y'all just live together. And it's just what it is. Nobody gonna do nothing about it. But at the same time, like I was saying, I didn't know for sure if Jay Cinco was kind of over Brooklyn or Brooklyn over him, because he's been spending a lot of time with his best friend, who's I was gonna say dyke, but sometimes like people say that defensive, a stud. I thought they were the same thing. I don't know. That's what anyway. So he likes and I've always felt that about him, like he kind of really be liking the more masculine, aggressive type of females, but I don't know. And masculine can be in personality too. But anyway, so if you look at the clip, it was him and his friend, like they was doing a prank. He's been pranking this friend girl of his for a couple times now, and letting her know that he likes her. And to be honest, she kind of looks like his type, because he did a smash or pass with one of his friend guys, and he was passing up on a lot of baddies, in my opinion. And he was basically letting people know that Brooklyn was his type. And Brooklyn, she's pretty, but she also know how to do the tomboyish. And I feel like he kind of liked the tomboyish look too. And some women are still beautiful with tomboyish, But Brooklyn knows how to doll it up too. But his friend kind of reminded me of Brooklyn. And Jay Cinco's rumored ex that he possibly could have had a baby by, possibly. And I spoke about that video a while back on my other channel. But that's alleged because obviously he's not claiming it publicly. But that situation, she reminded me of Brooklyn too. And it wasn't like those, you know, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like he has a type. But it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't even want to say it and like it come out the wrong way. But if you look at the video with his stud friend girl, that's kind of like the look. But I think he likes them dolled up too. I don't know. I can't even explain it. But yeah. So he was really seeming like he was serious with his acting with her to a point that it made me wonder if he really was trying to move on with his friend. For real, if you haven't seen this video, y'all go check it out and y'all definitely let me know down below. So as far as him and Brooklyn, I really don't know what they got going on. They are definitely confusing everybody. And Brooklyn said that is what she wants to do. So who's to know? But I wish them the best. They're good people. You know, I feel like even Cinco has good intentions, good heart for what he wants out of life. And he seems to want Brooklyn. So, hey, and V cars are
it's that time
too. So y'all
make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Please comment down below, because I want to know what you guys think. And if you're really feeling foggy, subscribe. Join the fam bam. And see more content just like this. What are you waiting for? There's always going to be more. And on my way out, just want to say thank you so much for stopping by. Like, share, subscribe, and vibe.